Hello everybody and welcome to our July Masterclass. No wait, not Masterclass. See,
what?
there
Member
goes.
make.
Member make. There's too many things. I just wrote down Masterclass 3 times to remind myself to announce it. So sorry, we're doing a member make today, not a Masterclass.
Yes.
So here we are. We have Emily is back with us, and of course, lovely Megan will be showing us how to make this gorgeous crepe paper ranunculus. But before we go any further, Megan has something to tell you all.
Oh, I'm telling them?
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually pregnant, and so my next member make will be my last one for a little bit, but Leah will be teaching the classes for you until I come back in December.
So your due date is?
The end of September.
End of September.
Yep.
So everybody shout out some congratulations to Megan. We are so excited to have a little baby around. So we can get our little baby fix, right?
Yep. Craft
So,
baby.
yeah. So we're really...
baby model.
And baby model.
And a baby model.
Yes,
And a
absolutely.
baby
We always
model.
need, and we hear that it's going to be a girl.
Yes. it's a
So
girl.
we have a lot of boys in our team. We don't have as many girls, so we're excited to have a new girl.
Yes.
So shout out your congratulations. And Anna, we have lots of people watching today, different places.
Yes, we have a very international crowd. And then we just want to give a shout out to Marion, who's unfortunately dealing with some flooding. And we're so happy that you're here, and we hope that you stay safe and dry.
Yeah, stay safe and dry. Yeah, crazy weather. We almost got roasted out a couple weeks ago, but now it's just normal Portland cloudy. So we're back to our where we're used to.
Yes.
All right, so today we are going to do a giveaway. So here's our question. All right, do a capital A. I always change it every time. So this time it's a capital A for answer, or for Anna, because Anna's going to randomly pick the winner. And the question is, what did you make for your craft challenge this last month? So if you remember the craft challenge, we were pushing you guys out of your comfort zone. If you're a crepe paper flower artist, make something in felt. If you do only fiber, do something in paper. So we want you to write down what project you made or are planning to make. We'll give you a little leeway because we're still in the middle of the month. And write that in, and we will pick a winner at the end of this video, and we'll ship you guys a beautiful little box of goodies from our shop. So there's that. All right, we have a few more announcements, but I'll hold those because we're going to kind of get going, and we'll throw those in towards the middle or the end. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, let's talk about the materials we need for
We have
this
a big flower today.
real quick.
Yes.
So for the flower, for our petals, I used a combination of 2 different colors. We have aubergine, and I made 1 whole flower in this color, and then I also did a couple flowers in Merlot. All right, and then to wrap our stems and for our sepals, I have cypress.
And these are all extra fine.
Yep, they're all extra fine, and then we did use the double-sided, the ferns and moss. So it's this color here, the darker color, and these are for the leaves.
Okay. And of course, you can make your ranunculus out of any color. You don't have to stick with this beautiful burgundy. But these were inspired by actual flowers that I was given for my birthday, and I pulled it apart, took a picture of it, sent it to
all
Megan.
laid out,
Yeah.
all the petals laid out. I was like, that's a lot of petals.
That's a lot of petals, which we're going to experience today. But Megan did such a beautiful replica of this flower. It looks like what was in the bouquet itself.
Good.
All right, so we have a lot of flowers to glue. Let's get going on those.
And so we're going to need a thick stem wire for your bud, your flower, and then also for your leaves. So you'll need a few of those.
So 1 each for the bud, 1 each for the flower, and 1 each for a leaf cluster.
Yep, and then we used 12 millimeter balls. You could also use a 10 millimeter ball. Doesn't really make a difference, whichever you have. We have our curling tool, and I'm also using the needle nose tweezers today because some of these petals are very small, and these make it a bit easier to place them exactly where you want.
It's becoming our favorite tool.
Yeah, we have some pan pastel, our paintbrushes, floral tape, and then we're using our art glitter glue today.
We're finding we like it.
Yes,
We've been testing it.
I've used this for every project for our, what is the next one we're doing? August. For all of our August projects, and I've really been liking it.
We'll
It's a
probably-
little bit thinner, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just easier to squeeze out. Your hand doesn't get sore.
We'll probably have it in our shop pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
We have a hot glue gun, some scissors. Make sure I actually cut all of these petals by hand because I found it was faster than doing it with the
Except for
cutting
the leaves.
machine. Except for the leaves. The leaves I cut on the cutting machine. And then all of the petals I did by hand because you can stack your paper. You just want to make sure you have really sharp scissors. So I was using these little guys that we have in our shop.
yes, we do.
Yes, we have these in our
Uh-huh.
shop. Like that. Yes, and they're so sharp. I think I was able to cut like 8 layers of crepe paper with these without it
extra fine,
ruffling. Yeah, with the extra fine. All right.
So Megan cut everything out for us, so
Yeah.
we don't have to cut today.
Yes, no cutting. You'd be watching us for a few hours. And then we have our template here. Just make sure you pay attention to the grain lines. I tried to include as much information on each petal as I could, but they're very small petals. So if you need to not forget what color or if it's petal A, B, or C, make sure you're writing it like on the back of your petal or something as you're cutting it out so you don't forget. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Did you?
Yeah, I'll cut.
Perfect. Let's get started. So we're going to start by taking our thick stem wire and our ball, and we're going to use hot, this is the only time we're going to use hot glue, and we're going to attach the ball to the tip of our wire.
And as we are working along, for those of you who are new to our member mix, go ahead and type in any questions that you have, and Anna will be calling them out for us so that we can answer them in real time. So this is a really great way to learn.
Yeah. Do you want to
Yeah.
set these flowers aside
Yes.
real quick so
We'll
that
set them aside.
when she zooms in. Zooms in the frame. All right, so now that you have your ball glued on, we're actually going to use this ball to help us shape all of our petals, because since these petals are so small, it's really hard to cup them with your fingers unless you have child hands. I feel like.
I do not have child hands.
So we're going to start with our petal A, which is just the small round petals, and we're just going to stretch each one over the ball. And you want to make sure you stretch it, and that even the way that the grain goes either way is also rounded over it, so that we have like a nice little cup. And we're going to sit and do all of those. And you're going to do the same thing with petal B. So it's the smaller of the more petal shaped ones, and we're just going to cup the top of those. You're going to leave the bottom unstretched. So I'll show you what that looks like. They're so small, I can't even like.
But worth
we
it.
have gotten our first question.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we use a 15mm ball?
Or a 15. You could maybe get away with it. If you use a 15mm ball, you might want to upsize the pattern just slightly. Maybe just by like 110% or something, just so that those circles are big enough. I was like, Leah's probably
I'm
gonna
gonna
grab
grab a
one and just
15.
see how it would work.
We also have a question. How do you cut using machine if the crepe paper is 10 inches but the template is 12 inches?
So we generally try to set up our templates to fit the 12 inches.
Yeah, so what you have to do, so each petal on the template is just an individual. You have to ungroup everything and reset it and
Yeah.
move it around on your
Okay.
InDesign
Well,
space.
then I'm going to restate that. When
Okay.
I set up my SVG cut files for crepe paper, I always try to make them work for a 10 inch.
Yes,
And
yeah.
So
But
it's
if
set
you
up
don't
in-
like attach everything, it all like
It all-
redistributes. So you just
exactly.
need to make sure that you're attaching our templates if they're already set up. And if they aren't, you need to rearrange them yourselves and duplicate everything
Yeah.
so that you're getting the most out of your crepe paper.
tested the ball. It is a bit big, so I would say if you use the larger ball, just upsize your pattern a bit. You can print it at maybe 120%, or if you're cutting it on the machine, just enlarge it about 120%. It
Yeah.
is it is enough.
It would be a little bit too big for
yeah.
the petals to really stretch all the way around.
But the ranunculus do come larger, so it would be fine if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and so for your biggest petal, for petal C, we're still going to use the ball, and we're just going to cup the middle of the petal and stretch it around, so you're going to leave the top edge knot shaped. And then once you've cupped it, we're going to take our curling tool and we're just going to lightly curl the edges out. So that it looks like this.
All right. We have a question. What brand of hot glue sticks do you use? Everyone I use has the glue strings like spider web all over my craft desk.
Oh yeah.
Is there a substitute for hot glue you recommend?
So yes, hot glue. If you guys watch any of my videos, my master classes, you will see, or even whatever videos that I'm doing something with hot glue, you will see hot glue strings all over.
Yes.
They really show up on camera, and it's just part of hot glue is to have strings. As far as what brand of glue, I don't know that we buy any particular brand. We have a huge box.
You just want to make sure that if you're using a high temp that you're buying high temp hot glue sticks.
Right.
Same for your low temp.
And some of them are both. You can use for both. But you know, the hot glue strings, that kind of just goes with hot glue. A couple of things I use is these little tweezers to pull my strings off. And then also, if you have a lot of them, take a blow dryer and just blow it with your high heat on, and that will kind of detach them and move them away from your project. Mm-hmm. So, yes, the beauty of hot glue is that you have strings. It's great for Halloween, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just save them all.
Yes. I don't know. That would be hard to do.
Yeah.
So I love it. We're sitting here. We've already prepared most of these for you guys, so you're not sitting here watching us do it. And Emily is over here as a beginner. This is her second flower, everybody. She's over here experiencing flower number 2 with you all as a beginner, and it's looking beautiful.
Oh, yes. I worked very hard.
Well, the few that she didn't do.
All right.
Megan prepped these for us. Thanks, Megan.
You're welcome. To get started on this flower, we're going to take our petal A that we've already cupped, and we're going to apply some glue just to the top of our ball. Just cover the whole top. Don't use too much. Yeah, the top half of the ball.
And not too much because it will soak the paper.
Yes. And then we're just going to cover the top of the ball with one of these petals. And this is just so that our white ball doesn't show through. All right.
And it stretches really nicely and forms when you place it on there.
All right, and so now we're gonna start placing our petals, and this is where you're gonna use your tweezers. I was actually picking them up with the tweezer and then applying glue. Let's see if I can show. I know. And then I'm applying the glue just to the very bottom edge of these petals, not too much. And then I'm going to cup it around and almost stretch it around the ball as I add it. So it's not covering it. We're going to glue these in rotation around, and we still want to see that crepe paper that we added to the ball. So it's going to be a little open.
And did you feel like you had any trouble with this glue drying?
I didn't. You just have to be careful about how much you use.
Is this too high?
No, you're not. You want to have it, see how mine's like wrapped? It's like really hugging the ball.
Can we do that one again?
So you almost want it to hit halfway at the top of the ball here.
Yeah.
But be open so that you can see the ball. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes.
Okay. And you're gluing the petal, not the ball.
Yeah, I'm adding it to the petal. I guess you could add the glue to the ball, whichever is easiest for you.
How about I do the ball, you do the petal? We'll see.
Sure.
Okay.
We're testing methods live here.
And then when you overlap the second petal, how much do you overlap it?
I'm overlapping it about 2/3.
Okay.
So covering 2/3 of the last
Of
petal.
the last petal.
Yes, we're gonna use about, I think, 6 petals in this first rotation.
Ooh.
I know this is like a lot of little teeny tiny
It is.
curly petals. But
Yep.
I keep saying it's gonna be worth it.
These petals are much lighter than the last flowers, so you don't have as much of a problem with them moving around
Do you keep dropping them?
as you're gluing them on.
Okay, I'm gonna try the method.
I'm gonna do it on the ball and see how this goes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just kind of throwing Emily into a fairly advanced flower. No problem. You can handle. You can hang with us.
Well, I've started making some crafts with you guys and been experimenting with a lot of crepe paper. It's such a fun material.
It really is.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you guys to see the project she made for you for August. So cute.
Is that close enough? Tighter.
This first round you want really tight. It's just like a little bit of texture that you're seeing, and then as we add more rotations,
You'll open it up.
that
Okay.
it'll open up more.
All right.
I feel like for me, this gluing on the ball is working slightly better. I just kept dropping my petals with the tweezers. I'm just not very coordinated.
Something for everyone.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, you're gonna use 6 petals for the first rotation, so they are pretty close together.
6 in one layer?
Yep.
Wow. I've already messed up.
Keep going. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
Oh, yes. Won't stop.
Alright, so this is what it'll look like with 6 petals. So you can tell those are really tight around that ball. And then we're going to continue adding them in the same rotation. I would say just as close together, except they're not gonna hug the ball quite as tight.
So just a reminder for everybody who hasn't been on our Remember Make live versions very often, if you're new to this, is that you will have access to this video again and again. As long as you're a member, you have access to this video. So if you can't keep up today, which we've already had all of our petals pre-curled, go back and watch it as often as you can. Do a pause and work and then start again and pause. We just want to make it as easy as possible for everybody.
Yes.
And this is a great time to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
We have a question actually that came up on the leaves, so jumping ahead a little bit.
Sure.
When I cut leaves out of the double-sided paper on my Cricut, I ended up with leaves that have 2 different colors. How can I fix this? Cut the leaves out twice and turn the paper over for the second cut.
That's one option.
So
This
that's
is-
not for these leaves.
No,
That's
this is a
for
general
different.
question. Yeah, it is one option to cut them out twice and flip it over if you're using the 2-color green. Sometimes we do leaves in gold, and the gold is shiny on one side and not as shiny on the other. I do believe that on most of our SVG cut files, we do try to do a kind of a, what is it called? A mirrored leaf, so you have each side. I'm not going to say it happens on all of them, but we have tried.
Yeah. Anytime we use double-sided, we have
Double
the mirrored.
The mirrored piece.
If it's using just an extra fine or a heavy,
You don't need to.
yeah, you don't need to do that mirror, so it may not have that. But if you're wanting to cut it out of double-sided, you can always.
And it could be a pattern
Flip
that
it.
wasn't specific for double-sided, but what a
Yeah.
great idea. Just flip your paper over and cut another set. So, great solution.
Are we just going until we're out of petal A?
Yep.
And then you're loosening them up as you
Yes.
as
With
you
each
go.
rotation, you're kind of just letting them fall out a bit more.
And then are you also moving your petals down the edge of the ball, or are you keeping
I am
them
not. They are all staying
Okay.
at the same height as of right now.
Okay, that's good.
Nice
Oh,
and
this is so
flat.
pretty,
Yeah.
you
It's
guys.
already pretty.
Yeah. And it's okay, these are teeny tiny pieces,
They're
but this
tiny.
is not hard to do.
No.
Well, except for
Well.
double thumbs.
Yes, your
Even I
fingers
can
can
do
get. You can definitely do this without the tweezers. I just found the tweezers to be a little helpful because I kept getting glue all over my fingers,
Did you?
which was
So I'm not using the tweezers because
great.
I find it easier to put my thumb in the middle to spread it open and then have it open.
See,
as a
I'm like
place.
spreading it as I put it on.
Okay, so whatever method
But-
works best for you guys. That's
Yep.
it's always that's why it's good to have 3 people working here because we have 3 different versions. What works best for you?
And if I can do this, anybody can do this.
That is true. That is true. I believe that anyone can.
Ow. I just needle nosed myself.
Yeah, watch out for those needle nose tweezers. They're a little pokey. Yeah, this is such a stunning flower. Are there any other questions, Anna, coming up right now?
Yes, we have a question. Is the bottom of the petal attached where the ball meets the stem?
No.
No, it is slightly out.
Do you want to
Like,
show it to him?
Yeah,
We'll
I
sh-
can-
we'll give-
mine's like almost covered right now.
Okay,
though.
here, let me show mine.
So
Here, can you see that? No.
You can see it on mine, the white.
So we're putting it here. Go ahead and put yours up here. Yeah, Emily. So you can see there's still white on the bottom. So I would say it's a little bit below the half mark of the ball.
yeah. Mine, I think
And probably our measurement was more to get it not quite to meet. Whoops, here we go. On the center. Let's see, can you see that? I know it's really dark. See how the petals are just open enough there in the center?
Yeah.
Yeah, and show Megan's
Yeah, mine are a little more open.
open. Yeah, mine are a little
Even.
tighter. Okay, well my last set,
There you go.
I'm going to open them up a bit.
And then, so to make a bud, this is actually, wait, no, never mind. Disregard what I just said.
We just
Disregard.
stopped
Never
here.
mind. No, not yet. I think I want to do one more layer of the next size up, and then it'll be a bud. All right, so once,
I'm sorry.
No, you're
We're
fine.
getting a lot of questions about the glue. What's the glue bottle that Lee is using? And why are you using white glue over hot glue? Wouldn't the hot glue dry faster?
the hot glue would definitely dry faster, but it would get really bulky, so you'd end up with a flower that's not as tight as we want it. Yeah.
So the glue we're using right now is, if you guys want to show this up top, or here, let me do it this way. There we go. So we're using what is called glitter art glue. Art glitter, glitter glue, art glitter is the name of the brand. And
There's no glitter in it.
yeah, there's no glitter in it. Some of you guys suggested this glue, and we got it. We've been testing it. Unfortunately, there's a metal tip that can go on here to make it even more pointy, and I broke it on this bottle, so I just popped on a different tip.
Yeah, definitely.
But we actually like it. It comes with its own metal tip and its own pin. So I highly recommend this. You don't need this. It comes with the version.
It comes with the little middle.
I ordered more for us because we only had 2 bottles for the studio, so that we'll have more of this. But go get it. It's on Amazon. We'll be selling it in our shops soon. We still have some of our amazing Aleene's glue to sell as well, which is also good to have.
Yes. Yeah.
I think
like,
one of each is always a good idea.
Yep.
But this little teeny tiny point, which we both have them, and Emily has a different bottle.
She just
that-
has a different bottle
Don't worry
with this
about that
glue
bottle.
in it.
Yeah.
This bottle, I've noticed it takes a lot of effort to
Yeah.
squeeze.
Yes.
Where this one's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So go for this. Go for the glitter glue. And I think for this project, we actually have a link in the project to Amazon to grab it. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yes.
Then Teresa is wondering how many petals do you have on now?
So I have all of the petal A, which is 16 petals.
I just put my last petal A on.
Yep.
I have
We'll
2 more.
compare.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Advanced and beginner. Look at that, guys.
All right, so now we're gonna grab our petal B. So it's just the next size up. It's not much bigger than the first petal. It just has a little tail on it so that we can make it start falling out a bit more.
I have to say, I'm going to throw this in. When we first started working with these tiny petals, I felt like all thumbs.
Yeah.
But once you get going, it's not too bad. Like it
No.
really kind of flows into a rhythm.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
So when adding these petals, we're going to continue with the same rotation, and for the first round, we're going to let it hug the flower still. So it'll be 6 petals for the first rotation again. And I've dropped the tweezers now because since these have a tail, it's a little easier to grab onto them. And you're just applying the glue to the tail of these, and the tail should go down onto your stem.
Yeah, but really watch the top of how the petals align.
Yes, we're making them all, right now they should all still be
Same alignment.
lining up
Yeah, worry about that versus
more than where the
stem hits.
is.
That stem will be hidden, it
Yes.
looks like, so.
Yep.
It will be. Back in the day when I had a flower shop, how old were you, Emily? About 6, 7?
Super young.
Yeah.
I barely remember it.
We used to sell a lot of ranunculus and use them in bridal bouquets, but we called them ridiculous. You know those ridiculous flowers?
The wiggly stems.
They're ridiculously beautiful.
They are. Or redunculus. That's what sounds very Harry Potter.
Yes.
Michelle is wondering, why is this flower so different from the Ranunculus flower kit?
Well, this one's a little more detailed. I would say the Ranunculus flower kit is probably more of a beginner level, and this one is definitely
More
a bit
advanced,
more
yeah.
advanced. So I don't know if you all have noticed, but our member make flowers keep getting more and more advanced. So, you know, a lot of the other flowers that we have already are beginners, and as we become more advanced, we teach more advanced. Yeah, these are much different. Those are cute too.
And then Marina shared, which I did not know, she's saying it's a good idea to stock up on the art glitter glue now. It's temperature sensitive, so they don't sell them in the winter months.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Interesting.
Yeah, good to know. We will keep that in mind when we sell them on our shop as well. The other thing I wanted to say about the kit, Ranunculus versus this one, is if you go look at Ranunculus, just like any other flower in nature, there are so many different versions of a Ranunculus that this is one particular look. There's some that
Are way tighter.
and some that are really fluffy and have more texture in the petals. So I see you're showing my hand here. We have a TV screen so we can see what you guys see. Anyhow, so that's even when we do roses and we do different peonies, there's so many different varieties. So there you go. That was a long answer.
All right, so after you've done your first round of the petal bee, so there should be 6 in your first rotation. If you want to make buds, this is where you would stop. So you'd stop here and you'd take your sepals and you would glue your sepals on.
Like this.
Yep.
These flowers are so dark, it's a little bit hard to see. There we go.
Hard.
So you can see
And I
them.
realized I cut the sepals for us to use out of the wrong color green, but that's okay.
It's a variation.
It's
Yeah.
barely the wrong color. Yeah, so you would curl your sepals and glue them onto the base of the flower, and then you would wrap your stem with your crepe paper.
I'm really
But
happy.
if we're making a flower, we're gonna keep going with our petals.
You're really happy?
Look how it's looking.
It's
Yeah,
looking so good.
Cute.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying learning how to do this because it really makes you feel capable.
Yeah.
Just
It's empowering.
it's empowering. you can make one thing, you can make anything.
All
There you
right.
go. See,
Yeah.
she's like the perfect example. Right here on camera,
I can do
people.
this.
This is in real life,
can do
live.
All right, and so we're just gonna keep adding these petals on, and with each rotation, with each round around the flower, we're just gonna let the petals fall open more and more, and we're still keeping the petals generally at the same height. They may start to get just a little bit lower, and that's okay.
Kind of a little arch, yeah. Okay.
Have we
You
got-
definitely don't want them to start getting higher, though.
Right.
Don't
That's
go
the
up.
main thing.
Good to know.
Yep. And there are like 80 something petals for this flower.
Yes, this
so
is a good time to,
just
I would say don't watch TV because you don't want to distract
No.
your eyeballs, but listen to a good book, listen to your
Yes.
favorite music.
I love listening to books on tape when I'm making long
I do too.
flowers.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Talk to your sister or your mom, you know.
Yep. I also do that too sometimes.
Yeah, all right. Well, while we're all gluing these on,
I know.
I will make a couple of little announcements. All right, so we are starting our new frosted paper masterclass in August. So you can still sign up until the end of July, but once the end of July is over, you cannot sign up because we start and finish the class together. So make sure if you haven't signed up for that to do it. It's going to be a really fun class. I am so excited about the flowers that I am teaching you guys how to create in this class. Some of them are brand spanking new and some of them are upgrades, so it will be a lot of fun. And then another thing I wanted to share, yesterday we announced that we're doing this beginners crepe paper Christmas. And it's something that I'm teaching and Emily is doing with me. We're doing it as a live on July 30. And we had kits in our shop to sell and they are almost sold out, you guys. There are only a few left. We're gonna see if we can scrape together a few more. But if you guys know someone who wants to take this class or if you wanna take it with us, you might wanna hop over there and grab your kits today because I don't think they'll last over the weekend. Again, we'll see if we can find more. We also have the Christmas crepe paper. Right now we're selling them buy one, get one free. So it's a 10-pack and you can grab those up if you want to stock up for Christmas. And I would say do that as quickly as possible because those are going out the door as well. And it's just, it's a crepe paper that we are no longer going to carry. So it's just a limited time that we have this crepe paper, and once it's gone, it's gone. So there we go. But we really want you guys to join us, or you or your friends. This is a free class for everybody. So if you know someone who's curious about making crepe paper flowers but hasn't quite known if they wanted to, join us as a member, this is perfect because it's free for everyone and it's absolutely beginner level. And Emily will be there making all of this with me. So there you go. That was my 2 announcements I needed to make, and now I need to catch up because they're running ahead of me. But. All right. Any questions, Anna?
We don't have any questions, but I thought maybe we should remind everybody to join our giveaway today.
Yes. So for the giveaway, go ahead and do capital A for Anna, since she'll be picking you as a winner. You can even write her whole name if you want to. I mean, that might give you an extra vote. We'll see. And write in your answer for what is the craft challenge that you chose to do for July.
And have we got any good answers so far?
There you go.
Lots of fun answers. I think it's so fun to see how many people will be or are trying crafting with a new material.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that are using felt for the first time, but we also have a few people that will be crafting with crepe paper for the first time.
That's
so
awesome.
Really
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, that's great. Also, be sure and go watch the little mini course on photography, how to use your iPhone. If you haven't watched that yet, it's funny. Last night I was watching somebody else. It's a professional photographer, videographer, and I was watching his little class on how to use your iPhone to do photography, and it was fun to learn from him too. We don't teach you iPhone technical skills. We teach you how to style, how to use lighting, and all of that. So it's a really good class. We did it a few years ago, but it's a really good one. And Anna and I share our tips on styling and all that. So make sure and watch that as well.
So you can take pictures of your new projects.
I know, and we use the iPhone now almost exclusively. I haven't pulled out my real camera for months because this iPhone has an amazing camera. How you guys doing? Are you down to
Pretty good. I'm
petal 80 yet?
I don't know. I still have quite a few of petal B left.
Do you? Yeah, it's really quite fun. I mean, watching it
Just-
bloom, watching this flower bloom.
And we have a question for you, Megan.
Yes.
How many
Yeah.
sepals per flower or bud?
5. 5 per flower, 5 per bud.
Yeah. Okay. And if any of you out there are here doing crepe paper flowers, you know, this is new to you and you haven't taken our crepe paper flower masterclass yet, make sure you sign up for that. It will start in September. So you have the month of August to go ahead and sign up. But it is a really good place to learn some great skills so that you can feel really comfortable coming to a class like this.
Yeah.
And not feeling intimidated. We teach you a lot of very good basic beginner skills. And this will be round 3. So we've had two rounds already, and both of them have been very well received, I will say.
Yeah, it's a popular class.
It's a popular
People
class,
seem to
yeah.
really like
And
it.
it's also inspired us to keep doing master classes.
Doing more, yep.
Because you guys love them so much. So, yeah, because we have one planned for Megan to do, which is the paper plants. But since she'll be taking a little break, we probably won't be able to give you guys that until 2022. But in the meantime, we have the 2 frosted paper and the crepe paper for you.
Yes, we're in the planning phase of the paper plant class right now. There'll be some fun updated plants.
So let us know your favorites.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let us know if you
If
have
there's any paper plants that are your favorites,
Oh,
now
yeah.
would be the time to say something so we can add them in.
Yeah. I love paper plants in my
Yes.
house.
Much easier to take care of than real ones.
Marina is wondering, are you still overlapping 2/3 of the previous petal?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And it's interesting when I put these petals on now, and I put them down into the spine because the spine has so much glue on it. I find that if I just press my nail in, it kind of opens the petal up. It
Yeah.
kind of naturally helps it fall away.
And
Hello,
then we
Marina.
have a question, will there be written instructions for the member meet?
Yes, now we do a photo tutorial with those written instructions in the photo tutorial. So we'll post that after this video.
So we always,
Is done.
yeah, we're going to do written and photo along with it now, but we don't post them until after the member make because we want you guys to be here with us. I think for me, we're learning on video works so much better, but that's a great reference once you.
Yeah, it's a good reference to see those little details that you may not be able to see very well on camera when we're live.
Thank you, Megan, for doing that because I know
Yeah.
that's a little extra work for you to.
All right. It helps me remember how to make the flower when
Okay.
it comes to doing the live because I designed and made all these flowers about a month ago. So I'm coming back a month later, almost, not necessarily relearning how to do it, but the
You have to
photo
remember.
tutorials are definitely a nice little reminder.
Yeah, and we're always working on new flowers, so sometimes we get a little crossed over.
Yes. I'm always working on something else when it comes to doing this video. Usually finishing up the member make
I think it's
for the next month.
I think it's a good thing we love our job so
Yes.
much. Right? We kind of put our heart and soul into this work.
do.
Yeah, what do you think, Emily? Do you like working here?
I love it.
I mean, I paid her to say that, so literally.
Hardly. I actually have been loving it. Loving working with this wonderful team. I feel very blessed.
Yeah, surprising, huh? Because
Honestly, not at all surprising.
well, but you know, I mean, I never ever thought that my daughter would come work for me at my company. It was a surprise for me.
Oh, well, you've been trying to hire me for about 5 years.
I know. That's why I thought you would never.
It was time.
It was time.
All right, so I've just finished adding all of my bee petals, so I'll give you a look at what my flower looks like.
Ah, this
You can
is looking
see it's
so
becoming
pretty.
more open, and you just see that rotation, that continuous rotation.
I am loving this flower,
Yeah, they're
and
fun.
mine's much more
They're not-
arched than yours, by the way.
Yeah,
So you can see 2 different versions here. Let's show.
yeah, hers, the petals
see
are coming down just
Megan's
a
hair
little
is
bit.
stuck. So hers is flatter,
yeah.
mine's a bit more arched.
Mhm.
And yes and yes.
Yeah,
And there's Emily's.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
That's
the
what-
dark background makes it hard. Ugh.
And it's funny because I was noticing that the dark petals also make it harder to see.
It does. It
when
makes
you're
it really hard to see
laughing.
the
So-
shadows.
So get
on
some
there.
good lighting
Yeah.
when you're working on this project.
All right, and when we go to add these guys, you're just going to continue your rotation the same way, and then after the first rotation, we're going to start moving the petals down slightly to fill out the flower so it's not as flat looking.
These would be so gorgeous in a wedding bouquet. Yeah, and I feel like these flowers are seasonless. Like you could use these for Christmas.
Yeah,
you could
I
use
feel
them for
like these are
Thanksgiving.
great, like fall, just in this color. I mean, it's
Yes,
great, for
especially
fall.
this color.
Yeah, especially fall. Maybe we'll do a bouquet with these. I need to do more bouquet workshops, arranging workshops for you all. So if you want that, let me know. If you have any arrangements that you guys are looking for, please put them in the comments and we can get that on our to-do list.
All right, and so for these larger petals, you're only going to be overlapping them about halfway, so not quite as much.
And the larger petals are
As you
curling
were?
outward now.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we're placing them so that that curl is going out and down. So we want the petals to look like they're starting to fall out away from the flower. Bring that over here.
We have so many lights in this video
I
studio.
know.
We seriously have 1, 2,
Getting
3,
warm.
4. Yeah, it does get warm, but I'm also laughing because usually we were like, it's so bright, but now I'm like, oh, I wish I had more light.
Wait a second.
Just find some nice natural light.
Yeah,
let's do this
natural
in
light would be great for
a
this.
window.
I do love the white glue for this because it makes it a little bit more malleable
Mm-hmm.
when you're adding the petals and
Yes.
moving things around. I think hot glue I would feel a little sweaty because I'd have to work quick.
Yes, you would.
I'm softening to white glue, Megan.
It's just so much more workable. And it has, I mean, obviously hot glue has a very strong hold on crepe paper, but the white glue, I feel like just has a strong hold on everything.
Yeah.
I get
Especially
that
once it's
glue
dry.
off my
Yeah,
fingers.
once it's dry.
And on your fingers.
But waiting for it to dry is the problem.
Well, I get hot glue all over my fingers too.
Oh.
No.
If you're like me and you like to touch your hot glue, I usually stick to the low temperature glue guns.
No. My fingers are so callous at this point.
Same, I'm like, I don't even,
Ouch. I'm a
doesn't bother
newbie.
me.
That's a good tip though. Newbies, start with your low temp hot glue.
Okay, so I'm just starting. I just finished up my petal B. Would
Yep.
you remind me? What's
So we're
next?
gonna take petal C and we're just gonna continue the same rotation.
Oh, I think a petal B got it mixed
Oh. Yeah, you're gonna continue the same rotation that you have been doing.
in. Okay.
And after your first rotation of petals, you'll start moving those petals down just slightly,
Okay.
so that our flower fills out a little bit more.
And another thing too, as you make these flowers, you can stop at any point and call it a small you know,
Yeah,
and
you don't have to do the
make them all the same
full
size. Yeah.
flower.
Like at this point, after petal A and B, is that what we're calling them?
Yeah, A,
you
B,
could
C.
you could stop with A and B and call it a smaller flower,
Mhm.
and then do some with the C's, just like you did with your bud.
Yep. Yeah,
Any questions? And I know this is like very tedious work
it
here.
is.
And fiddly. It's
And
a little
fiddly.
fiddly.
We have a lot of members that are real excited about more classes for arrangements.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to hear what you're looking for. So, you know, are you wanting to do a table arrangement for your Thanksgiving? Are you wanting to do, you know, more bridal bouquets? Maybe we could do a class. I think we talked about this before, but I'd like to hear more votes on this. I don't know how, not everybody is working on a wedding, so it's hard to know how much wedding focus we should do, but should we do boutonnieres and corsages? There's some great tips on that we could teach you. So throw us some votes on that, and we will set up those little workshops.
And then I think we want to remind everybody that's watching that we offer free shipping on orders over $60.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And that we have a craft cash system where you will earn points when you shop with felt paper scissors.
Yeah, we really want to encourage people. Support small businesses. It's hard for us to compete with places like Amazon for a lot of things, but I think we're doing a really good job with our crafts because we do offer the free shipping, and we also, give you guys money back. So support small businesses. And our shop is getting more things. Oh, we have to tell them, Anna. These, you guys, our needle nose tweezers or pliers are going to be in stock. They actually landed at the warehouse, so they could be in stock as early as Monday. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, we're just waiting for them to be unpacked.
Unpacked. So they are here. I know you.
Yes, we're super excited because not only do they cut the regular wire, but they also cut.
Okay, I will do a demo here. Watch this, guys. Okay, better work. Look, ta-da! It cuts the thicker wire. This is what we were looking for. It took us forever to find this amazing, right? How many of these needle nose pliers, tweezers have we gone through?
Well, and I love that they're needle nose also.
Yeah.
They're so much more versatile.
It's like everything you need in one pair.
You could use them for if you're doing any like jewelry
You could.
thing, like you could use those.
They're super versatile. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, we do put a lot of effort in sourcing only Leah and Megan and Emily's favorite tools. So there's
And
quite a bit of
Krista, don't
testing
forget
that goes
Krista.
through into it.
And Krista for all the felt.
Yeah. And then also we're waiting for a crepe paper delivery from Germany. So in the next few weeks, I'm hoping.
Yep, I think is it on land? It's in the U.S. Is that right, Anna?
Yes.
Okay.
It should be. It has arrived in New York. It should be making its way to our warehouse in the Midwest sooner rather than later. I don't know. Probably everybody's heard, but there are huge delays with shipping currently.
Yeah. But the good news is our crepe paper singles, our new shipment, is in the U.S. Yay! It's on land.
I know a lot of people have been waiting for that order to come in.
So if we
Yeah.
We've been waiting. For
we're
that order
actually
to
out
come
of
in.
stock ourselves on a few
Yes.
things. So
We are.
yeah.
Dang, shipping.
Well,
I
I
just
think
need
I
it.
think in a way it's good that we value things a little more. Things aren't quite as easy to get. So when we do get them, they're a little more precious. I like that. Okay, I think I made mine too high.
You made yours too high.
Too high up. Oh my
I mean,
goodness,
you can
that's
just
so
keep
gorgeous.
moving down.
Okay,
After that the first round can be high up, and then you start moving down.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing
And with
is
your
is-
and with your white glue, you can always kind of
Move
pull.
'em.
You can like pinch it and
Yeah.
scoot it down a little bit if your petals are too high.
Okay, this is so gorgeous. I don't even know what to
Fluffy.
say. It's beautiful. Megan,
Thank
you've
you.
outdone yourself again. And again, it's
These
not
are fun to
hard.
make. I was like a little intimidated by this one. Leah has always made all the ranunculus, and they're so good.
Well, you
I was like,
outdid
okay,
me,
I
girl.
gotta figure this out.
You outdid me this time. I
Honestly, the shaping on the ball is what
helped.
really helped
Yeah.
get that like rounded, cupped shape that the ranunculus need.
And these are much smaller petals than any ranunculus that we've done. Which was, I felt
Yeah, I didn't even like look at any other patterns. I was like, I'm starting from scratch.
Yeah, which I
Or
think was
just-
unique to this particular
Yes.
design of ranunculus is that it had such tiny petals.
Mm-hmm.
We have a question from Sharon. How did you curl the bee petal?
So you don't curl the bee petal at all. We're just cupping it just the top rounded bit over the top of your ball. Just how we cupped the A petal. So you shouldn't be using your curling tool on that at all.
Yeah, only on the third petal,
Mm-hmm.
on the C. All right. silence.
I know.
Does anyone?
I'm almost done.
Yes.
I think I have
This
4 more
takes
petals.
a bit of focus.
And then we'll be moving on.
This is when it's good to be able to multitask when you're on
Yes.
video because
I'm like,
you have to talk.
not
Lei
my
is
skill.
wondering,
What's that?
is there any good way to add scent to the flowers?
Oh yeah, we are still looking at that. I love essential oils versus a synthetic fragrance because they actually give me a headache. So using an essential oil, sometimes they don't last as long, like the fragrance will leave. So if you use a carrier oil, that helps keep the fragrance. I don't know that Ranunculus have a fragrance at all. I don't think
I don't
they
feel
do.
like they smell much.
They smell kind of earthy. They smell kind
Yeah.
of planty.
Just do like a little sandalwood.
Yeah, but you know, if you have rose essential oil, and then mix it with a
I
carrier,
was gonna say, how would you apply it?
I wouldn't apply it. What I would do is put a little diffuser kind of near
Just
or by
in
it.
with it
Mhm.
Or I wonder, could you mix it with a little alcohol and like?
I think the alcohol would take away the fragrance, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think it would overwhelm it. I don't know. We'll test it for you.
It would evaporate.
I'd also just be worried that if you spray anything on the crepe, that it
Yeah.
would make the color.
But what I would do is I would take one of those scent sticks that that soak up the oils and
Yeah.
just stick them in the bouquet.
Ooh.
Yes,
That would be
that
my
would.
suggestion right now.
Probably work.
We could put some leaves on them.
Oh yeah, put some leaves
There
on
you
your
go.
scent sticks. Yeah, you know how if you go into a department store, they'll have their fragrances sometimes with little sticks in them. So it's something like that. It's a stick that will soak up the oil and the fragrance. Maybe we can sell those in our shop someday. I love it.
Can you go over the shaping of the C petal again, please?
Of the C petal? Sure, let me borrow one. So for the C petal, you're gonna, could I have your ball on this?
This is the bigger bow.
That's okay.
Okay.
Still get the idea. So you're gonna take your flat petal and you're just gonna stretch the middle of the petal over your ball, leaving the top untouched. You're not gonna touch the top. And once you've cupped it, so it's a cupped petal, you're gonna take your curling tool and we're gonna curl the top 2 corners of the petal out and down so that you have a little cupped petal. We use this shape a lot for a lot of different
We do.
flowers.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great little trick.
Yeah, so Tammy is wondering, is the larger leaf curving away from the center?
Yes, so the largest petal is curling away from the flower.
So it cups towards it and then curls away at the tip.
Yep. So it should start, it'll make the flower start falling open, more open.
And then we
I'm in
continue to
love.
get a lot of questions on the glue. So what glue are you using?
Okay, we are using Art Glitter adhesive, and I have the 2 ounce. You have a 4 ounce
Yep,
there.
and it's the dries clear one.
Dries
Because
clear.
they do have one that dries white, and you don't want that one.
And I believe that, yeah, don't get the dry
Yeah.
white. And we have a link for this in the tools and materials list.
I'll add it.
Oh,
I
add
don't.
it,
I
okay.
don't think. I think it links to the tacky
The
glue
tacky
right now,
glue,
but
okay.
I can add a link to this as well.
Okay,
once
we'll
we're
add a
done
link,
here.
yes. And then just know that this particular one, which we don't have it on right now, does come with a little metal
A
tip,
metal
which
tip.
we could
I
grab
was
it.
looking. I don't know where.
It's in the
was
second
it?
drawer there with the glue.
This one?
Yeah.
And then Diana had a tip that we have not tried yet. She is saying that she adds 2 drops of vinegar to the aleenes to get the same consistency as this one.
That's a great idea. Yeah, so it's a little bit thinner. It's always scary. That's it. It's always scary to add water to glue, but vinegar, that's a great idea. I like having a thick glue sometimes for some projects, so it's nice to have the option of the Aleene's tacky glue and this one. And then also, we haven't used it for a while, but we used to use a Yes paste for some things, which is
Yeah.
really thick.
Yeah. So
So-
with Yes Paste, you add a little water to it,
As
and
well.
then you apply it with a paintbrush.
Right. So, you know, there's 3 different levels of tacky, and I think
Yeah.
each one has its a great. Yeah. Okay.
So
metal.
this is the metal tip that comes with this. If you want to zoom in on my hands, there we go. And it just fits right on top of this, and so you have a really fine point.
And it also comes with a pin that you stick in
Yes.
to keep it clear.
Yeah, it's just like a sewing pin.
Is it like this one?
Yep, it is.
Actually,
that
that is it.
Yep, and you just stick it right in the top. Actually, I don't know if that's it because it doesn't fit. But yeah, it comes with a pin that's a little skinnier than this one, and it fits all the way down in. I think that's the pin for yours.
Yes.
But yeah, and this will make, if you tend to apply your glue a bit heavy-handed, this
perfect.
tip will help you a lot. Not apply too much glue.
Yeah, it took us how many years to figure all this out?
That's okay.
Yeah.
We keep learning. All right, so I have applied all of my petals to the flower. And so now, before I touch any of these petals or move them around at all, because I am going to fluff it up a little bit more, I'm going to add my sepals first. So you should have 5 sepals, and you are going to curl them a little bit. I'm going to take the curling tool and curl the pointed end just down so that it curls down and away from the flower. And then we'll go ahead and apply them just in rotation around the base, evenly around the base of the flower.
Last petal.
I still have a pile. I think I was talking too much.
Yes.
Why don't you just stop with the small with
I could.
You could.
But
You could just keep going.
it's really pretty. And
Yeah.
I love it that mine's a little bit different shape too. So to show the variety.
I have a question from Jane. I don't have a Cricut cutter yet. Do you recommend a Maker or Maker 3?
Yeah.
So I just got the Maker 3.
She's the first one on our
Yeah.
team.
And
try it.
it does cut faster.
It's loud.
But it's louder though. I haven't seen, there's nothing that I'm going to use on it, any features that I think I'll use on it that are different from the Maker personally, because it has like the feature where you can
long rolls of
like vinyl, which I don't do vinyl, like long rolls of vinyl. Like I'm probably not going to use that feature. But if that's something, if you do longer rolls, need something longer than that 24-inch mat, then go for the Maker 3. If you never think you're going to cut anything that's over that 24 inches, then I don't necessarily think it's worth the price.
How much price difference is it?
You know what? I'm not even sure right now.
Sure.
I don't know if it's the same price as what the Maker was
Okay.
when it first came out,
Yeah.
and so I'm sure they've lowered the price of the Maker.
Right.
I don't know. Could you look that up, Anna, to see what the price difference is?
I haven't been feeling like I need to grab one of the 3s yet because my 2s or my Maker's just
they just
fine.
skipped 2 and went to 3.
Went to 3, yeah. So.
I don't think it cuts crepe any better.
Yeah.
Except it is a little bit faster, but it is loud. I was very surprised by how loud it was. It's not like an issue or anything.
So
but
I hope that answers your question. The answer
I don't know
is
if I answered.
Buy either one, but only the 3 if you feel like you need those extra features.
Yeah.
So.
I would go. I feel like they have like a compare and contrast features on their website
That you
actually
can go look at, yeah.
that you can go look at, or someone has posted a blog somewhere with them.
We haven't done it yet. We haven't done a compare video with those yet. We've been busy. Writing, master classes and making flowers. Making flowers.
All right, so I've added my sepals to the bottom here. I'll bend. And so they're curling down, and now I'm gonna fluff this up. I'm gonna pull some of these petals down so that my flower is a little more elongated. But I'm being very gentle because my glue isn't dry yet. If my glue was dry, I could just really. You don't have to be as gentle. But yeah, I'm just fluffing it up just a little bit. Go. And then you would take your a strip of the crepe paper the cypress colored crepe, and I'm going to cover the stem with it, using it just like floral tape, except we're going to apply a little bit of glue to the stem. So you're going to stretch the crepe paper as you wrap.
Which direction do the sepals go?
The pointy ends are
Curl. Yeah.
the end that you curl, and then the rounded end is where you're gluing it to the base of the flower.
I just finished mine. They don't look quite as tidy as Megan's did, but that's okay.
Yeah, and the curl goes away from the flower.
Nice,
Yes.
like natural
Yeah.
curve.
Yep, it follows the curve of those petals that you just put on.
And did you stretch this first?
No.
I usually stretch as I go just to like save the end that I don't
And you
use.
did you hot glue this?
No, you use white glue for
Okay.
so yeah, put a little glue on just the end to start it, and then add just a line of glue down.
Okay,
Okay.
watch a newbie here, guys.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
So
Drum
you
roll.
just put on a little strip of glue, and I'm gonna put it really tight underneath.
Yep, right under the sepal.
And then glue first.
Yep, and then add a line of glue.
Oh, this is gonna get all over my hands.
Just
Probably.
just put it down a little bit until you get it started, and now you can start wrapping. And then you can hold on to where you've wrapped.
All right, that's fine.
There you go.
It takes a minute to get used to.
Mhm.
All right, I got all my petals on. Yay!
Yay. And you just want to make sure you glue the end down really good so that it stays once you've wrapped.
I'm struggling a little bit. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
don't be tempted to not put glue on the stem as you go, because if you don't, it will fall off
It'll
at some
just
point.
unravel
At some
eventually.
point, yeah, I've done that in the
Yeah.
past when I was in a hurry.
Just really quick
Yep.
to cover them. Yeah.
My wiggly line, very nice.
Yep.
So Megan, how do you determine when to use floral tape versus crepe wrap?
So I always use crepe wrap if there's no leaves going onto this stem. But even if I'd only use floral tape to attach leaves to the stem, and then even still I would wrap the stem with the crepe after I've applied those leaves.
Here's the way that I kind of frame it too.
Mhm.
So this is maybe an easy thought to put in your head. When you're attaching wire to wire, the floral tape holds it really well.
Yeah.
That's the way you hold things together, but then you finish it with the crepe.
Yeah.
When I am doing frosted paper flowers, I just use the floral tape.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
With frosted paper, I usually just use
Floral tape. Yeah. So wire to wire floral tape,
Mm-hmm.
or if you want strength, and then to
Yep.
finish it with the crepe.
Yep.
Yeah. Does that work?
Yes, it does.
Can you remind us how to shape the largest
Make sure you're
petal?
stretching that.
Oh,
even
we don't
more
have
than
any
you
more.
are.
The largest petal, we don't have any more.
Oh.
Can you talk
You
it
can,
through?
I mean, yes. For the largest petal, you're gonna stretch the middle over your ball, and then you're gonna use your curling tool to just curl the top corners of the petal out and away from
Yeah.
that cup that you just made. And you can always go back in this video and see exactly how I did it.
And then there'll be a video,
Yeah.
photo tutorial.
That's okay.
I think I put too much glue.
Too much glue.
Oh, that's okay. It will dry out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the glue.
Right
does
now you
kinda
can like
seep
see
through.
my glue through this, but it'll dry and you won't
Yeah.
even be able to see it anymore.
And the crepe paper is so easy just to
Yeah.
blend back on.
Mhm.
And then Ranunculus have kind of wiggly stems, so I always kind of
That's why we call them ridiculous.
wiggle, bend the stem just a little bit.
Yeah, like these here are way
it's-
too straight.
Yeah,
They should
are.
be all over
They
the
need to
place.
be wiggly.
We probably photographed them wrong, Anna. We should have had them all curled and turned.
So, and I did add a little bit of pan pastel to some of these just to give them a little bit more depth, and I used raw sienna dark pan pastel. It's linked in the post, and I just like to use a fluffy paintbrush, and I'm doing this very lightly. This is just to make them a little bit darker, and I used it down on these outside petals. I didn't apply it to the center at all.
When I was doing my stem, it slipped down a little bit for me, so I'm taking my excess and just going right up to the top.
There you go.
Yeah, you can layer.
Yeah, you can always
Yeah.
add more.
Yeah, I guess, you know, we decided not, I mean, we haven't always covered our stems with crepe paper, but we decided it just looks better.
Yeah,
as
and
a
I
finish.
don't always. There's certain ones that I don't, because if I'm using the wire, like a 24 gauge
You don't
wire,
do it,
if that 24 gauge wire is exposed, I find that some of our floral tape matches the color of that wire better than our crepe paper does.
Gotcha.
For example.
Yeah, it's just a nice way to
Yeah.
finish sunflowers.
All right,
so.
I'm going to show you guys how to do the leaves real quick. You're going to need floral tape for this. So I'm just going to give you a piece.
Thank you.
Do a piece.
Okay, so here's a place where we're
Where we're
attaching
using floral tape.
something.
Yeah, and
to
this
our-
isn't even wire. It's just
It's not wire to
leaves.
wire, but we're attaching it to
Yes.
the, yeah. And you don't want to use glue or hot glue with this because it's too bulky.
No, yeah, it would be too bulky.
Okay.
So we're going to take our stem, and I'm going to put one leaf at the very tip of it with the stem all the way down onto the wire. And I'm going to use floral tape to attach it. And just make sure you're really stretching that tape as you attach. And then right away I'm going to go ahead and add another leaf. And I'm just going to work my way down, and I'm only going to add leaves at the top I'd say 4 inches of the stem, because that's all you're really going to see. You want the leaves up higher. And I'd say put 3 to 5 leaves on a stem. You could add more. It's totally up to you.
And you don't feel like you need to shape these leaves at all?
I will shape them after I've put them on. I like when I'm using floral tape to add them, that they're straight because they stay out of my way.
It's easier, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep. All right.
And ranunculus are another one of those flowers that they don't have, the leaves are way down at the base of the plant.
And so that's why I did these just separately,
Mhm.
because it's something that you'd maybe cut off separately to
Right.
have in your.
Well, and as a florist, we would just pull them
Okay.
off. We would never use
Yeah.
the leaves in the bouquet, so this is a great way to get the leaves in the bouquet.
Yeah.
I feel like everything looks better with some green.
Yeah, and so after you've applied your leaves, you can go ahead and just shape them a bit. Go ahead and curl them out. Just give them a little more texture, even though they're already very textured.
Yeah, they are. I
These
love all
look
the.
like difficult ones to
Yes.
cut without a
You
cutting machine.
definitely want to cut these on a cutting machine if you can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could, if you're cutting these by hand, you could just cut a simpler shape, like
Yeah.
the same shape, but leave out some of the.
I bet you there's some crafters out there who
I'm
have like
sure.
major scissor skills that could do this.
I don't know if I have that. I also, you can cut the stem shorter if you need it to be shorter, because it is a little bit long.
And so
on
it can
here.
sit further
Yeah.
into the.
And so for these leaves, this is an example of where I didn't cover.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to cover them.
Because they match.
They match the tape
Arrangement.
color. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that it?
That is it.
We made
There
it,
you
you
go.
guys.
Yay!
Okay. Here you go. I don't want
Go
to put
ahead
this in
and-
front of your face.
Oh,
So,
that's okay.
all right. So, let's
We
see.
can add all our other flowers.
We should hold them out next to each other again.
Oh yeah, that's a good
jeez.
idea. Just to
I don't
see.
remember. Okay, yeah, there we go.
So,
There we go. So you can see they're a little bit different shapes, but they all generally look,
Yeah.
the same.
Mine are more dome, less
Mhm.
round. You guys have nice round ones. So,
And as intimidating as this flower was, I feel like it came together pretty easy.
yeah.
That said, I learned a lesson pretty quick, which is definitely stay with that overlapping pattern. I kind of went a little wibbly wobbly on my pattern, which I think makes it look a little bit less like the flower geometric look.
Mhm.
So mine
Yeah.
it doesn't look quite as realistic as theirs do. But all together. I'm pretty happy with it.
I don't know. I think if you
I
had
think
it
it's
in
pretty
here, you
good.
wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I think it looks gorgeous. All right. So, all right, guys. One of the things I wanted to mention, if any of you are going to do the Crepe Paper Christmas on July 30 with Emily and myself, and it will be live, but we'll have a replay after so you can watch it. There's already a video up, so we put a video. Once you get your materials and tools, you can download, well, the pattern comes with the kit, or you can download the SVG cut file, and we go through all the tips and tricks on cutting the crepe paper and getting everything prepped for the class. So just letting you know that it's up and live. You can find it today. All right.
Is it on YouTube?
We have our other flower also to show.
Oh, yes. It's not on YouTube. It's in our Craft Academy. If you just go down to the Maker Workshops, you'll see it right there, and you can click in and watch that video and see all the tools, materials, everything you need. So we are excited to get some Christmas on, right?
We are super excited, and I just had a peek, and we're actually sold out of the bundle. We still have the buy one get one offer on the Christmas crepe paper pack.
Yeah, and you can also buy the rest of what was in the bundle is on our shop. So we might see if we can bundle a few of those up so we can get you guys that great discount. Okay. That's good news. We sold out. All right. So that means we're going to have a lot of people at our class, Emily. At our beginner class.
Yeah, and we do have just a few questions
Oh,
about
yes.
today's.
Yeah.
So I was trying to cut the double-sided crepe paper with a Maker 3 and it wouldn't cut through. I used the corduroy material setting. What setting do you use?
So when I cut these on my Maker 3, I used the cotton setting. Just the normal cotton setting, and then I did more pressure
For
the double-sided.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you have any questions about cutting crepe paper on a Cricut or on a cutting machine, actually, we have a full video for you guys as a mini class in our Craft Academy called Cutting. I don't remember what it's called, but it's something about
cutting machines.
on a cutting machine. And we actually cover both the Cricut and
machines.
the Silhouette.
Yes.
So make sure and watch that because we give you guys our best tips. Also, double check that your blade.
What type of mat board do you recommend?
Yeah.
Sharp blade.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Whenever I cut crepe paper, I always use just the green standard mat. Yeah.
We pretty much use green standard for everything.
Yes.
Yeah. And it depends. I mean, you just want to make sure that it's stuck on the mat.
Yes.
It cannot slide.
For heavy crepe paper, you may find that the purple mat, the like extra sticky one, might be better.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want your paper to slide around.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? So
I think that's it for what had to do with the class.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and Anna's going to be picking a winner right now. And in the meantime, while she's picking that winner, we are going to show you yet another very complicated flower. Here you go, that we're going to learn from Megan next month.
Wow.
I know, right?
Absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, so this is an agapanthus. You'll typically see them in a purple color. They also come in this white. This went a little bit better with our color palette for that month, so I decided to do white instead. But yeah, these are lots of little flowers.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but every craft collection every month, right now we're on July, next month we're doing August. We always have a color palette that we have to stick in, so the lavender didn't match, so we're doing white.
Wasn't quite.
But you can do them in lavender if you want to.
Yes.
Yes.
Always can. You can always change the color of any of our flowers.
And this is double-sided, but you guys can take our lavender crepe paper and make your own double-sided. And we were just talking this morning about doing another full class, a mini course on teaching people what is now called laminating. We've been doing it for years, but we never called it laminating.
Yeah, we just called it making your own double-sided.
Double-sided. So we'll have that for you. We can teach you how to do your own lamination.
Yeah.
Wow. If you want to do the double-sided, right?
Yeah.
A little nervous about making this one.
Oh, you can do it.
It's easy, just time consuming.
It's another one of those.
Yes.
All right, winner. Who's the winner?
tiny.
Yes, thank you everybody for your for writing in what you will be making this month. It was so fun to see. I just want to clarify, I do not personally pick the winner. We use, because this is a giveaway.
Oh yeah, Anna doesn't pick them. She just calls it out.
Yes, we are governed by the laws around gambling and use a random number generator.
Yes. So just so you know.
This month's winner is Mrs. Dirt Biker.
All right, Mrs. Dirt Biker. Let's get your craft on. All right, go ahead and Anna will connect with you and you can get your address and get that sent out to you.
Yeah.
So just final reminders, we will see all of you, hopefully, at the first lesson of our new Frosted Paper Masterclass here in a few weeks. And make sure you sign up for the Crepe Paper Masterclass in August if you haven't already. And then, of course, even before all those, we will see you at our Crepe Paper Christmas on July 30th. Not June, that's her birthday. July 30th.
July 30th.
So we'll see you all then. And then our next masterclass where we're going to learn these agapanthus. I don't remember off the top of my head, Anna, what date is that?
That's our next member make.
Okay. Whew, we have too many things. Our next
Yes.
member, thank you. Our
Member
next
make.
member make agapanthus will be on August.
So we usually do, are we doing the third weekend?
No, it's usually the closest Friday
one's
to the 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be on August 13th.
August 13th. There we go.
All right.
It's official. We'll see you August 13th to make
see
all
you
these
then.
Yeah.
gorgeous flowers. All right, guys. See you next time.
See you
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.